Is femininity conditional? And there's a reason why we ask this, because femininity is a superpower of a woman. That's the substance and the core essence of who and what you are and makes you divine. But if you have somehow lost it through conditioning or through feeling like you have to work hard and all this other stuff, and you are embodying more of your masculine qualities, this is the very energy that men do not like, or we're starting to be like, okay, this is overbearing. We want you for your femininity. That's one of your main core attributes. But I often keep hearing this thing. I see it on Twitter. I see all of these women with these ridiculous memes are always posting this thing saying, oh, when the right man come, I'll be submissive, or he can get all this. And I just wanted to address this and break this down. Your femininity is not conditional. It's really either you are or you aren't. This is not something you just decide to just flip on like a light switch and I can become feminine.
Right.
But the reality of it is that nobody should have to be overbearingly more masculine than you for you to have to turn down your masculinity. You should already be living and resting in your feminine energy. So this is not a subjective thing you just flick on and think that, oh, well, when the right man comes along, I'll be submissive and all this other stuff and who's deserving of it. No, what's really supposed to happen is you should always be feminine and be willing to be led and submissive to masculine energy, and you should not be engaging in and interacting with whack dudes who are not worthy of even leading you to begin with. The sauce is in you picking properly and evaluating and vetting out the quality of man from the get-go. That way, when you're in a proper presence of masculinity and masculine men in general, you should always be yielding your feminine energy. That will always get the attention properly from masculine men. Always. This whole idea of conditional femininity and conditional submissiveness is a bunch of bullshit.
I could tell immediately when a woman is overly masculine.
Right.
You can see it on their face, how they walk. You know, you get an energy as a man that's like another man.
And they body language.
You can tell a lot by what a woman listens to too. Musically, you could tell by the things she watches on TV. Right. If you get with a woman and all she listens to is trap music, killing nigga, fucking nigga, tricking nigga, fucking nigga, get the bag, get the this, get the that, then she's probably going to come with a lot of masculine energy because she's being told and she's being programmed with the music she's listening to to go after a guy as if the guy is the prey, somebody to be played, somebody to be manipulated. When she constantly listens to that, that's in her psyche, you know? Right. We know how much music can affect the way people think. I'm not saying we all don't listen to different music, but it takes a certain kind of person that can listen to music and then decipher reality from entertainment. If an entertainer says, if he ain't buying you a Birkin bag, then he's not a real man. Women will literally believe like as if that's real. Right. They'll be like, are you buying me a Birkin bag?
And start expecting that from the common man. I ain't got no problems if I walk in and you listening to Trey songs or Sea Breezy. I don't want to walk in to the bathtub and you in the bathtub listening to YG. Yeah. Throwing up gang signs. Like, I'm going to have a problem with that. I'm going to be like, yo, okay.
And then I've also seen, you know, women exert themselves in masculine ways. Stepping up to a man saying, what are you going to do? Or hit me. Those are masculine things. And it's only done and perpetuated because they know, obviously, the law is behind them. Right. If we was in Dubai or something, that wouldn't be going down. You know what I mean? But we're in America. So, obviously, the ladies know that the cops are going to come and get you as the man, even though it ain't your fault. She could hit you first or whatever. Right. That's also masculine traits. And then a woman would say, I would be submissive if I had the right type of dude, as if she could just switch that dysfunction off. Right, you know? Right. And most of the time that's ingrained, you know, it's going to take a lot of work from a man to try to help rebuild a woman out of that. Ladies, if a man even puts in the time to even deal with you when you come from that, if you come from that, you better thank your lucky stars that man is even giving you an opportunity. Because really, I would advise him not to.
Right,
You guys
right,
better be
right,
on
right.
cater to you mode, because he's taking the time to try to bring you out of whatever damages you have. It's very rare that a guy pulls a woman up out of that. Normally, she pulls him down into that.
That's been my observation as well.
Yeah.
It's look, the thing is guys, ladies, we all have to be real with ourselves, and we got to do the work. The hard work is truly just stopping right where you're at and taking a really deep look and assessment at yourself and where you're at, and being honest with yourself. And that's where, and this is the hardest thing to do, because nobody wants to believe that what they're doing and how they're acting is really wrong or inherently bad. But some of us along the way, when we grow up, our experiences, we pick up some toxic behaviors and things that are just not conducive to healthy relationships. So in regards to what I'm trying to tell you, ladies and everything, the way you become more successful is you guys have to truly understand where the foundation and the core of your femininity is. A lot of you women are so masculine, you don't even know how to actually identify femininity because you've never really even had it your whole lives.
True.
You've been operating from when you were a child all the way up until you being a grown woman in some type of survival mode, where you are just enacting masculine energy and masculine traits. And so you don't even know that you're acting in that. You don't even know how to turn it off and turn it down. But we'll actually try to tell me or sell this guy on the idea that, hey, if you choose me to be your wife, I'll be submissive to you. No, you're just going to, try to fight this nigga 12 rounds at the house. That's what you're really going to do.
Productive men don't have time for that.
Nobody has time for that.
It's been sold that it ain't real love unless you're arguing or something like that. That's one of the most dysfunctional things I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, nobody has time for that.
Yeah, what it is it's a manipulation tactic for the women who like to argue. They have the ability to stop, but since they don't want to stop, or they come from that, they try to tell a man you're not a real man unless you argue with me. They enjoy the... Yeah, we don't have time for that. We have things to do. We got money to make. We got to put, food on the table. Our mind is allocated to different things. We don't have time to come home and argue with our women. That's why most men, if you notice, most productive men, they do not have those type of women.
Right.
Normally, the kind of guys you see with those type of women are almost the mirrored reflection of the type of woman they have.
Indeed.
Let's say city girls.
Right.
If you're talking to city girls, you're not gonna probably catch somebody like a Bruno Mars.
Right.
With you know what I'm saying? But you can expect somebody like a Gucci Man.
Right.
A Yo Gotti. You can see these things if you really pay attention. You can see what's for you and what's not for you. And a lot of times those guys get with those girls, and those girls do damage to their vehicles, their cars, all that stuff come with it because you decided to date that kind of a thinking woman.
Right.
If you're a thinking kind of a man and you want to be productive and you want peace in your life, don't go after the city girl type. Of course, they got fat asses. They are beautiful. But just because something is beautiful doesn't mean you have to go for it and you have to try to get it if it's wrong for you.
Right.
Guys, get yourself a girl that you can go home to. She's happy to see you. And if you guys have a disagreement, you squash it really quickly. It's very minimal.
Right.
You don't want to go after somebody who's acting like somebody from the Bad Girls Club or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that we're looking for.
Nah, I mean, unless you really want them type of problems. But then I got to say, what's wrong with you, brother? If that's what you want in your life, man. Like, look, man, most men, just to piggyback off what Q just said, men's minds are occupied with very important things. Most people who are severely serious about their purpose and what that purpose is and what they have to do, they don't have time to be going to jail and then spending $2, $3, $4, $5 grand to bail themselves out behind a situation with a woman.
Facts.
And anything that's an inkling resemblance of going down that path and that type of behavior gets you cut off.
Yeah. A real man's not going to tolerate that. Matter of fact, it's a red flag. So if we notice that a girl has very toxic behavior and is prone to arguing and arguments, then obviously our next thing is to get rid of them. Cut them off, get rid of them. We don't really need that in our life. We're looking for peace of mind. You can't just go from breaking somebody's cars and windows to acting as if you're going to be the most submissive feminine person ever, because at any time it could be triggered and a woman can go back to what she was doing to the last dude just because maybe things aren't working out with you. And, you know, they'll play their role until things go bad. And when things go bad, then you see who they really are at the end.
Who you really are will always be indicative in how well you control yourself in the most difficult times. It's easy for us to get angry and give into how we feel and what triggers us. The true marker of your character will be when it's the most difficult. You really want to do something. When you can control yourself and somehow be cordial and amenable and still not escalate in doing things to the other person, that's reflective of you. So when, no matter what you did and how you started off and how you portrayed yourself to be, who you really are will show when it all came down to it, when you became afflicted emotionally, what you decided to do to me, whether you thought it was warranted or not.
True.
That's the reflective of the person you really are.
Right.
So it's not going to be a good look on you as an individual. You can say whatever you want to say. Oh, he did this to me. And no, the only thing that will matter is the decisions and choices you made, because you had a choice.
Right.
You had a choice to burn or blow his car up.
Right.
You don't have to do that. You know what, this person, he's a shitty person. He did this. And maybe hopefully he gets a messed up or a shitty woman after that to teach him a lesson. You don't have to make it your point to do that. But the moment you decide to be like, oh, I'm so upset and I just feel like I got to take matters in my own hand, I'm going to key up his car and write bitch in the side and all that other stuff, and then think that somebody's supposed to side with you because you feel vilified in doing so. No, it's reflective of you as a person. It makes it look like you're a child. You are legitimately a 10-year-old throwing a tantrum in a 25-year-old or 30-year-old's body, and you look stupid.